She does. She wants to do as much as she can.
Okay. So, hello, fellow noshers, and we are back, of course, because there's always something out there to eat.
Yes, there is.
Let's always say
Thank
that
goodness.
again. Now, before we get into today's haul, for the last episode, we had a couple of items where we were speculating how, one, it might taste better, and the other, you just had kind of a thought of what it might be good for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And if you remember, I think one of them, I should have looked up again, but it was they were waffle cookies.
Mm-hmm.
And I just...
Stroop
waffle. And I thought they were just really, really, really too sweet. They weren't bad flavored, but just so overwhelmingly sweet. And I said, I'm wondering if there's something that would cut this.
Mm-hmm.
And I use all natural crunchy peanut butter on toast in the morning. And it's only got a little salt in it. It doesn't have any sugar or anything. And so I thought of that. And then we were trying the mocha chocolate.
Yes.
And you said you thought it would be good melted in coffee.
Yes.
And true to our word, we both actually tried doing these things. And why don't you go first and say what happened with your chocolate?
Well, it melted very well in the hot coffee. Tasted very good. I added a splash of cream just to bring it out. And I did have to re-stir it because it did settle at the bottom of the cup. But it tasted really good, so it did work.
It did work. I mean, that's wonderful.
And I just used one piece. I didn't need more than one little bar.
And what size, like, cup of coffee were you talking?
I think it was a 10-ounce cup of coffee.
Okay. So if anybody wants to try it, it was one bar and...
one of the pieces.
One of the pieces,
bar.
Yeah. And about 10 ounces. Okay. Or, it's one thing you could adjust for your taste.
Exactly. And use more cream if you want to.
Right. So I go and I spread peanut butter. Now, we had broken this thing up. There was like 2 halves of one and a little piece of another. And I didn't want to. And I took a little bit of the peanut butter and put it on one little tiny piece. And I actually bit into it and was completely amazed at how much of a difference that made. To the extent that I spread peanut butter on the rest of what I had and had that for my snack. It was just, obviously with no sugar in the peanut butter and just a little salt and the crunch from the nuts. It absolutely cut that sweetness just the right amount. And I wish I could describe what it was like eating.
Did it happen to be, because if I remember correctly, I don't think there were oats in those, but it tasted like an oatmeal cookie.
A little.
Did it kind of...
You're going to ask
like a Nutter Butter or a Girl Scout peanut butter cookie?
Not the Girl Scout one. Since I can't stand the Girl Scout ones, maybe because this is interesting, because the Nutter Butters are crunchy, really hard and crunchy. These were chewy and soft. So maybe a little bit like that. But it made such a difference. Now, I don't know that I would run out and buy those again just to do that. I think maybe if I really had a craving for a Nutter Butter, I might do that. Okay. It's not something I would jump to do. But if you talk about something making all the difference in the world, that did. I don't know how I just thought peanut butter with this.
Yeah.
And it was it. It worked. So that's the follow-up from last time. I'm actually glad we both...
Right.
Because I texted you right away with kind of wow... This is better than I expected.
Yeah. And I didn't text you about my experience.
Yeah, so I
totally forgot I had done it until you asked me.
Yeah, I mean, so that's one of those times where you just do something different. And so anyway, of course, we have a few things to get into today that are new. And now that we know that maybe if something's not great, we eventually doctor it, not necessarily every time.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to go into this because it's cooling off. One of the things, Bev and I really like the Skinny Pop popcorn. It's in the regular flavor one in the green bag, the green and white bag, if you're familiar with it. And I was in the store and I keep seeing the butter version all over the place on surveys, everything. And I happened to see that it was non-dairy. So I grabbed this. This is the microwave version. You've probably seen this. So this is one of those things, again, if you've wondered how it is, with the butter flavor or whatever. we're going to taste it so you don't have to, or so that you can decide to anyway.
Mm.
And we popped it up ahead of time. I don't know what size bowl you would, is this?
That's
Okay.
it says on the bottom, but I can't read it right now.
Oh, okay. So
I think it's, let's see, I think it's 8 cups.
Okay.
7 or 8 cups.
Okay. So it shows you about how much it made. It made the full bowl. We were kind of
Yeah.
surprised when we emptied it out because the packet is a little bit smaller than the normal microwave. And I don't know, it doesn't smell like anything anymore. When we first popped it, it smelled like we
good.
were in the movie theater,
Yeah.
kind of. Okay. So here we go. And I mean, popcorn is like one of my favorite
Yeah.
snacks on the
And you got to
planet.
eat 2 pieces. You
Oh,
can't just eat one.
Okay, so.
Hmm. I don't taste butter.
I don't taste butter either.
And it's a little saltier than the pre-bagged.
Yeah, I don't taste butter, but this is going to sound weird. It is it more closely resembles unbuttered movie theater popcorn
Yeah.
than any microwave popcorn I've tasted.
Yeah.
That I can eat.
It has a good crunch to it. It's very good.
Yeah. I mean, so it's good, but it doesn't taste like butter.
No.
So that's weird. I'm not sure I'd buy this one again. I'd have to try the microwave regular one and see what that was like. Because I've got this big thing about if it says butter, you should taste something.
Yeah.
So I'm not tasting that. I'm not tasting that butter
And the packet was
flavor.
very greasy.
But I've said that's something odd because I get this organic Orville Redenbacher microwave popcorn, and the packages have been. It's almost like they're greasing the packages, maybe to help it somehow. I don't know what that is, but no, it's really actually very good.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't deliver on the promised flavor.
Right.
So I mean, it's almost like a 2.
Yeah.
A 2 on the bite scale because it's certainly not bad.
No.
It just doesn't live up to what it says. Okay. So this I found where I usually find a lot of our stuff on an end cap at Trader Joe's. And it says organic coconut crunchy clusters with pumpkin, sunflower, and chia seeds. So it sounds healthy.
Yeah.
Okay. And little palm trees for the coconut. But this is one of those things where I was like, is this supposed to be a snack? Is it supposed to be like, you eat it like granola? I mean, and Bev was mentioning, a lot of people, you just eat granola as a snack. But I mean, like cereal.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what we're dealing with here. Okay.
I'm just hoping it delivers on cluster.
Well, me too. It's not delivering on being able to open at those things. All right. It looks like clusters. It smells like coconut.
It looks like chips.
Well,
It's more like chips.
yeah. But take one and you'll see. I think it's a little
Oh.
more clustery.
Oh. Okay. Oh, those are coconut. That's the coconut.
Yeah, look at those.
Well, that's a lot of coconut.
I mean, well, it's coconut based.
Yeah. Okay.
Now the thing is here, I'm going to say I like coconut.
I love coconut.
So.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm. Oh, wow.
Mm. It delivers on coconut flavor.
It's really good.
Mm. These are good. They're kind of better than I was expecting.
I love the texture,
They're a little sweet.
but not overly.
Mm. Mm.
A little bit messy to eat as a snack.
Yeah. Mm. It does taste like a granola that has coconut in it. It's been toasted.
Mm-hmm.
And the flavors are
They're all there.
they're all there. They've all been brought out.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That's something I'm not 100% sure I'd go get again necessarily, but it's really good.
Mm.
I'm going to give it at least a 3.5 on that.
Yeah.
Maybe. That's interesting.
Do you think you would try it as cereal?
I'm
Or
gonna,
not?
yeah. I think I'm going to. I'm going to use some soy milk and I'm going to see what that's like. And I'll tell you next time.
I do need a sip of water though.
Well, I do too. But that's interesting because that does deliver
That
on
was
the.
two dry items in a row.
But that does actually deliver on the flavors.
Yes, it does. Very good. I love that coconut. Now that might be something I would go buy.
Okay. Oh, I'll leave you some or something. Okay. So the next thing I have, you said that you have seen this a few times and you've mentioned it to me.
Mm-hmm.
I happened to grab it.
Well, I would have grabbed it, but I didn't know if you'd want to try them or not. So,
Okay. See, I don't mind trying them. Now this is interesting. These are the gluten-free golden Oreos. I have tried the gluten-free regular Oreos.
did we do that?
No,
We didn't, because I think I've tried them.
yeah, I had.
You might have brought me some.
Mm-hmm. But I can't tell you. See, the thing is, I'm not the biggest regular Oreo fan. Because for me, this is just me, the cookie part is a little too dry for me. The gluten-free were a little drier.
Yeah.
And so now they do have the gluten-free double stuff now.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. And so I might try that because for me, it always needed a little more moisture. So I always, when I did like Oreos, years, decades ago, I always preferred the double stuff just because.
And just as an aside to Nabisco and cookies, they do have a gluten-free Chips Ahoy, but it is not vegan.
Okay, yeah, you were saying
So
the
you want to,
chocolate chips.
Yeah, the chocolate chips have milk in them, so you might
So, yeah, and I also saw they had the Oreo, the mint ones, and the gluten-free.
Oh, I haven't seen those.
I saw them up there, so that might be for another time. But one of the things, too, is that once they came out with the golden, by that time I couldn't eat gluten, so I hadn't gotten to try these. I haven't had like a vanilla sandwich cookie in a long time. I don't know if you remember. It used to, I guess it was a generic brand. And in the thing, there used to be brown and this color,
And then the Duo ones, too.
Yeah.
And I have had the golden Oreos, so.
Right. So she'll have some,
Is that one of the,
oh,
does that have the,
I don't feel it.
oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Isn't that the,
That's
I thought
what
I saw it.
I did too, but it was there. Okay. Okay.
Oh, they smell good.
Yeah, they do. I'm looking, and naturally, I think they need more filling. I barely see any filling.
On the regular Oreos, I actually prefer the cookie part.
Yeah, different tastes.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's one of these things. If I don't care for these, I'll leave them here.
They don't quite smell like the regular ones, but they do smell good.
What do the regular ones smell like to you?
I don't know. I can't describe the smell.
Okay, now I'm going to open this just to show you the. See, just a little cream in there. All right. This is the Here Goes Nothing. I'm getting dry.
Dry, and I do not like the flavor of the cookie at all.
Something's wrong. Something's really like
Off. It doesn't taste like the regular golden. And now I'm almost getting a hint of, I almost want to say cough syrup. It just has an odd flavor.
Something's not right. I can't put.
Yeah, can't put my finger on it, but
now can I ask a question? Are these supposed to taste like vanilla?
I can't remember because I haven't had them in so long. But these don't taste like.
I believe you,
but real ones.
The reason I'm saying that is because. First of all,
now I'm having a weird feeling in my mouth.
Yeah, in my throat. What I was going to say, because the reason I asked about vanilla is all of a sudden there's this feeling in my mouth like Do you know when,
Like,
maybe you don't bake,
no.
but when vanilla extract starts to turn, when it gets a little bad and it starts being kind of more like vanilla wine, then, and yeah, because
Maybe that's what I'm getting.
because all of a sudden I'm getting,
Maybe that's why I said cough syrup, because that alcohol-y, yeah,
yeah, there's
something off.
something really off. I mean, really off.
Oh, that's the one bite.
That's the one bite. Yeah, that's the one. And actually, I'm a little more disappointed. I had a little more hope for these.
Yeah, so did I.
But something's really, I mean, I can keep going on about it because it's like there's something, that's why I said something weird in my throat because it's like that feeling, that, or like when I don't drink, but anybody who drinks wine or whatever, sometimes the alcohol will give you a warm feeling in the back of your throat.
Mm-hmm. And I'm having like almost a film on the roof of my mouth, which sounds disgusting, but
Yeah.
it has kind of
I
a,
don't have that, but
oh,
I'm not having that, but I'm having, that's really very, very
off-putting.
off-putting. Yes. So, um,
That's definitely a no.
that's definitely a no. Ugh. Um, it's interesting. Now today, so that's obviously if you want to pick winners and losers, that's the loser for today.
Definitely.
Definitely.
The winner would be the clusters.
Would be the clusters. It delivered on everything, the crunch, the coconut flavor, everything. And, not too bad as the popcorn. It tastes like good popcorn, just doesn't deliver on the flavor it was promised.
Right.
So, again, and I'll leave you some of the clusters too. And then maybe you can try it with the milk too. And then we'll do that and we can get back to you on that next time. In the meantime, y'all keep noshing. You can order copies of my dessert recipe books by searching the titles at your favorite online bookseller or email migdalor@aol.com to learn how to get signed copies directly from me. See you next time and keep noshing.